Hey y'all. So I'm a bit new to this whole recording thing, especially just me talking to myself. So this is gonna be a little bit awkward, a little bit new, but I just thought might as well start. I think sometimes we can get caught up in how perfect things have to be, or you just keep on uh, changing directions and you don't really know how things are going to go. But honestly, it's best to just start. So that's what I'm going to do out here. So I don't really have a plan for what exactly I'm going to talk about, but I do want to give a bit of an introduction to me and my life because I am about to embark on a new chapter in my life. I just graduated from college. I'm 22 years old, and I'm entering uh, the adult experience for the first time. So I'm going to be starting a corporate job in a couple weeks, and I've just been home for a few weeks just for Christmas and New Year's and everything like that. So I've been enjoying my time there, but it's given me a lot of time to reflect over the past few weeks. But ultimately, I've really gone through a transformative process throughout this past year. So I'll just give a little bit of a recap. So I played college football for 3 years during college at TCU. So that was one of the best experiences I've had in my entire life. I learned so much about myself and about how I interact with other people, and creating a ultimate better mindset, and really just about me and how I want to instill discipline in my life. I think that's the biggest thing. Is uh, obviously college football and sports in general. It's a huge time commitment. So I really had to refine my schedule and how I was able to fit in everything within my life. There's a lot of um, fitting in schoolwork, and then obviously a social life on top of the 40 plus hours a week of football. And so I feel like I did get a really good understanding of how to manage my time. But throughout those 3 years, it was I really struggled in certain aspects of my life. I wasn't disciplined in the things that I knew would give me a better life. I did my homework. I showed up to workouts, everything like that. That wasn't the part I struggled with, but it was more of the internal struggles. I had no motivation, no discipline in other areas of my life to succeed. I didn't have a purpose or a direction of where I was headed. And that was the thing that scared me the most, was that I was just going through the motion a little bit, and I had no plan for what I was going to do outside of football or outside of school. And I think it really hit me in year 3 when I got injured. I hurt my ankle and was out for about 6 weeks. That's when I really started saying, like, wow, like this may be the end of my career. It wasn't like a season-ending injury or anything. I was able to get back to it, but I really started thinking about what my future was after sports, after football especially. So, and then after that, I had made the decision to for that to be my final year. I decided to stop playing football and refocus and take the final year of college to really figure out myself. And so I made that decision, and I was like, okay, like I'll have a little bit of time to figure things out and everything. But really, my identity was so tied up into football, and I mean, it's been a huge part of my life for so long that it was finally coming to an end, and I was so scared. Like, when something has been a part of your life for so long and it suddenly is over, you don't have a sense of direction of where you're going. You don't have a purpose that gets you up in the morning and keeps you uh, driven to accomplish the things that you want to do in life. And after the final game, final practice, uh, it was over for me. And it was about a month left of school before finals and everything. And I was in a dark place mentally, man. Like, I was so nervous, very anxious. First of all, because I knew I needed to find an internship if I wanted to find a good job after school. I knew that an internship was going to really benefit me for that. And so I was kind of stressed about doing that. I was doing multiple interviews. What really hurt me though was when I I was doing an interview in my final week there. I mean, I was done playing football and everything, and I grinded for preparing for that internship. Like I was studying all the materials I could for about 5 to 6 hours a day on top of my finals, like studying and schedule and everything like that. And got to the final interview day, and uh, I just failed. Like I messed up in certain areas. I misspoke. It ultimately wasn't a good look for me, and so obviously received the news that I didn't get the internship, and that was like the lowest of the low for me. I, it was just a very difficult time and difficult thing for me to process. That like, oh, like I thought I was going to have a set plan after football. I thought I was going to go on this trajectory, get this internship, and then hopefully get a full time job after that. And when all of that just comes tumbling down, it's heartbreaking. Like, it's like, what else do I have to do now? Like, I don't have another direction to go into. So that was a really hard time for me. And that was around December of last year. And so after that, I finished up all my finals fine. And then I came home. And then I really wanted to reevaluate my life and my direction, my purpose. That was the biggest thing. It was the biggest struggle because I had been an athlete for so long, been in sports, tied up with all that, and all of a sudden it was over. So I knew that if I wanted uh, to be successful in my final year of college, that I needed to hold myself accountable because it's something that I struggled with my whole life. There were things that, on a personal level, I didn't hold myself accountable. Uh, Spiritually, I didn't hold myself accountable. There were a lot of things that kind of fell by the wayside, and I I was so tired of feeling down on myself, and I had low confidence, and it was really time for me to make a change. So I don't know exactly what it was, or it didn't really pop up into my mind. Uh, I hadn't seen it anywhere else, but I came up with the idea to document every single day of my life, whether it be just through taking pictures, taking videos throughout the day, and also writing in kind of a journal to recap my day. It it came to me and it was like, that's the way that I'm going to be holding myself accountable. And another thing was that I was going to uh, put all of the journal entries onto a public Instagram account because I didn't necessarily do it for followers or do it for likes, but I knew that if it was in a public space, that I would have people around me that would see every single day. And if I were to miss a day, or if I were to not hold or not do what I said I was going to do, that people would hold me accountable for it. And so it was a huge kind of revelation for me. I was like, yeah, like this totally makes sense. If I can be consistent with posting on this Instagram account every single day about my life, then I'll be able to track progress of of what I said I was going to do, and ultimately it's going to lead me uh, into a better spot. It's going to give me a purpose to wake up every single day and complete set tasks, and ultimately, uh, I was going to end up in a better spot than I started. So on the first day, I think it was December 17th, I listed out what exactly it was that I wanted to accomplish throughout the year. And so for me, it was obviously um, staying fit and uh, either working out or doing mobility work or doing speed work a little bit every single day, whether it be a 20-minute workout or an hour-long workout, multiple workouts. I always had to do something every single day, and uh, that was something that kept me going in times when I had no motivation to go. I'll dig into that later. But another thing was doing financial or technical work on my computer, uh, 30 minutes to an hour every day. This was something that I knew I needed to get better at, especially if I wanted to learn the skills to be able to get an internship and then eventually a full time job. I've always been interested in data analytics, and so I did a lot of technical work. I started out with learning a bit about Python because I didn't know if I wanted to go into that kind of route, but I eventually migrated more towards just the data analytics side and really honing in on my Excel and Power BI skills. And so um, those are those were skills that I deeply value, and they were huge in what I wanted to do, and I really feel that it helped me land an internship and a full time job after. And I'll dig into that later as well. But I just listed out several things that I saw in myself that I knew I needed to get better at. So um, for me, this was just a lot of interpersonal work, uh, delayed gratification, not giving in to short term temptations like pornography, like scrolling on social media. So these were all big things for me that I knew I needed to change. So I listed all those out, and then I just every single day after that, I started documenting my life, and man, it changed my entire life. I would not be where I am today if I did not start that account, if I did not start uh, filming my workouts in the morning or taking pictures of what I was eating throughout the day or taking pictures of my computer when I was doing work that I didn't want to do at the time, but I knew it was giving me the education and the skills I needed to eventually get better at something. That's the main thing is like I saw progress in myself every single day. I could look back a week ago and see like, man, like I I was at this point, but now today I'm at this point, seeing just how incremental steps ultimately benefited me uh, gradually in the long run. So that was that was the best kind of experience I've had. It was this past year, 2024, changed my entire life. It changed my outlook on how I treat my body, how I treat my mind, and how I interact with other people, the relationships I have, just my gratitude toward life, man. Like, I wake up every single day and I am in love with my life. I don't mean that in a selfish way or anything like that, but I am motivated, I'm driven to tackle each day because I have a purpose. And it was something I'd never experienced before. And it was a great feeling to know that I was waking up and enjoying what I was doing. And I mean, it was very hard work. It's something that like all those little things that I did, I would not have been able to do consistently if I didn't have something that kept me accountable. And so through that, I learned so much about myself and little things that I knew were benefiting me in the long run. And I established these non-negotiables, is what I call them, and they're little things that I need to do every single day to live the best life that I can. And I've established these, and I mean, at times I've definitely fallen short. I'm definitely nowhere near perfect, but they're always on my mind, and it's something that I am always striving to get better at. And this type of inner purpose is what excites me about life, because I'd come from a point that I had no motivation, no drive. I didn't know what the next day was going to hold for me, like what my actions were going to be the next day. Was I going to fall short? Was I going to fall into temptations? Like I didn't really have a plan for each day. But by starting a an accountability journal or Instagram account, whatever you want to call it, I had a set plan for every single day. That, okay, I did this yesterday, and now I've learned from that plan, and now I can make a new plan for this day that ties in similar things that I knew I needed to work on previously, but also I can learn from my mistakes and say, okay, how about I implement this type of thing this day? How about I, instead of working 30 minutes on this type of data analytics software, how about I increase it to 45 minutes? How about I watch an extra video to help me understand a concept that I didn't know before? How about instead of just watching videos and learning how to do it, how about I actually make a project? How about I start something that I can then, from then on, build? So for me, I saw so much progress in myself that it wasn't just all stored up in my head. It was actually written out and shown through pictures and videos. So I don't know if that necessarily, it's kind of all jumbled up, my explanation for this, but I just want anyone who's watching to kind of take away that documenting your life is the best way to show progress and to capture who you are and what you're striving to become. Because I just believe that I would not be here if I didn't have the accountability system in place. So through that, I learned so much about myself, and um, now I'm progressing into a new chapter of my life. I decided to document every single day for 1 year, and so I got to the end of 2024, and now I'm starting a brand new chapter. And 2025 holds a lot for me, holds a lot for all of us. There are so many things that we can continually improve in, and uh, I think a lot for me especially, and a lot of my friends who are around the same age, it's a time to really reevaluate your current situation and see if the things that you're doing on a daily basis are leading you in the right direction, or if they're causing you to fall short in a lot of areas. So I think obviously New Year's is a great time to reflect on the past year and try to make new resolutions for the next year, which are all great things. I think it's a great time to reflect, but really it's about taking action on those things. It's not about just thinking about the resolutions you're going to do. It's about actually going through with them. And so throughout the past few months, and especially past couple weeks, I've really reflected on what I want to do going forward in my life and what my purpose holds. And so I think I've really reflected on my experience as an athlete, someone whose identity was very tied up in sports, and is now sports are now over for a lot of people. Sports will be over this year, and they have to transition into a new phase of life, and that's very difficult. I went through it, and it was a hard process for me to change. But I feel like I've learned so much about myself through doing all of that, and now I want to help other athletes who are going through similar situations, who are who have played sports for a long time and now are not. Maybe they're working full time jobs now. Maybe they're still in college. Uh, Maybe they've stayed fit, or maybe they've kind of let go and don't really have the drive or the purpose to continue being fit, being healthy. This is something that I've really thought about a lot. Is uh, how can I take my experiences as someone who went through a big transition, and how can I reach other people, whether I know them personally or reaching new audiences of athletes? How can I have an impact in their life, and how can I help them live a fit and healthy and purposeful life? And so, taking a look at where my Instagram account is and how much content I have on there already, I really want to continue posting and making content directed to former athletes who are in new chapters of life that may be struggling, may be doing well, but ultimately build a community of athletic people who want to continue making uh, fit and healthy decisions so that they can live a very long and healthy life. They can be uh, they can be fit. They can be learning new things every day. They can be smart in their finances, building wealth, but ultimately just being a great mother or father. I've really thought about this a lot. Like, you need to look at your life like you are preparing to have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. And you need to have a life that sets you up for uh, being there for your children, being there for your grandchildren. I think some people don't look at their life that way. They look at the here and now. But I think looking beyond and looking into the future and saying, what choices can I make now that will give my children and grandchildren the best life possible? Whether it be wealth building, whether it be staying fit so that you can be a positive impact uh, on your children, or just ultimately providing them the best life possible. I think that's the biggest thing that I can see. The biggest purpose that I have going forward is leaving, or is creating a life for for the future generations that's better than my own. If I can set them up for success, then I will create a legacy that will continue to be built upon within my family. I think it's huge to understand this, and I've talked about it a lot with my brother John, as well as my parents, just about how my parents were a huge impact on my life and created great opportunities for me. I have to do the same thing for my children, because what other purpose is there in this life but to help other people, whether it be through inspiring people or just providing them great opportunities in life? I don't know what else is stronger. Like, I wake up thinking about what I can do today to help myself tomorrow and help my friends tomorrow, help my family tomorrow, and down the line, like into the future. Um, and so through all this, my main takeaway is I want to create a social media platform called How Does an Athlete? And it may sound like kind of a weird name, but I think through the content that I want to make, I want to help answer the question, how does an athlete live their life? How does an athlete stay disciplined after sports? How does an athlete find their purpose? How does an athlete leave the next generation in a better place than when they found it? Like there's a lot that I can say about the content I want to make, but the overarching sorry, the ultimate goal of this channel is to help other people live their life in the best way possible. And so I'm going to continue posting content that is directed towards athletes and former athletes and tell a little bit about my story and show just little ways that they can improve their life through fitness, through diet, through uh, daily activities, through their work, through finances, and just building a better life than what they had before. So I'm finding it a little bit hard to just really get uh, get my main message out there, but I hope that I can just show through my life and through posting about my daily life and through posting uh, maybe advice that I've learned along the way, or what I've heard from other people that resonates with me, and create a strong sense of community with a bunch of former athletes. Um, and yeah, ultimately just provide a platform that helps other people, because I really haven't seen a lot of that, especially within the former athlete community. You see a lot of like bodybuilders, fitness influencers, but no one really talks about the, the struggles that athletes go through once their sport is over. And so, like I said before, I've been through a little bit of that, and I want to help other people who may be going through similar struggles. So yeah, that's what I plan to start. Like I've been really excited about it for a long time, and uh, I've told my family about kind of some ideas that I have, but ultimately I want to create a better and better community of people who have purpose in their life and want to continue to succeed. So through that, I don't know if my message got through to any of you, but really this introduction is just getting my story out there, and I'm going to continue practicing on honing in on my messages and what I say, and um, but yeah, I'm really excited to keep posting and creating content to help inspire people to live their best life. So I'm I'm gonna be work starting work here in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna be very busy with that. But I'm gonna fit in time to dedicate to this, because I feel so alive and purposeful when I'm talking about this stuff. When I have conversations with other people about where their life is going, and what we can do to continue making it better. So uh, I'm very excited, and I hope that you can follow along and hopefully uh, just take some of these messages to heart. And I'm gonna make interesting content that hopefully you'll enjoy. And I just want anyone that may be struggling with certain things, certain emotions. Uh, it's These are all natural things to feel, especially at this age where we're going into a brand new uh, chapter in life. But if there's anything that any of you may be going through or kind of struggling with, I'd want you to open up and message me, call me, whatever it may be. Like, I'm here. I want to be there and help all of us get through some of these harder transitions in life and get to the point where we're progressing and setting up our children and future generations in a much better spot. So, but yeah, looking forward to this new year, 2025. It's gonna be big, and can't wait to uh, leave a better mark on this world, because there's so much dark things that are going on in this life. But I want to be a better inspiration for my family, for my friends, for my children, for everyone who may stumble upon my account. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of start posting, and look forward to talking to you guys later. So have a good day.